Yeah, I mean, I think for those out there who are like, oh, politicians, it's all the same job. Um, these jobs are very,
Very.
very different. Can you talk about maybe just briefly the pluses and minuses of being a mayor compared to being a state legislator or county commissioner or other jobs you've seen?
I loved being a state legislator. So anybody out there, run for the state legislature. I did. I loved it. Again, you've got your end of the spectrum folks, your liberals and your MAGA Tea Partiers, and then you've kind of got your centrist folks. And I was always a moderate Democrat. So I always said there were 110 members of the state house, and about 70 of us were in that middle. And that's how we passed Medicaid expansion, right? In my first 6 months, I partnered with several Republicans. We were in the minority, and I led the effort to pass Medicaid expansion. Gretchen Whitmer was the Senate minority leader, and I was in the minority in the House. And we worked with Governor Rick Snyder, Republican. And at the time, I said, because of this work, 400,000 people are going to have health care, and that's huge. Turns out 1 million people in Michigan have health care. Again, that's a policy. I get to work with others, compromise, and get policy. It wasn't perfect, but we got it passed. As mayor, it's very different. I'm not partisan. So while everybody in the world knows I'm a Democrat, I am not partisan. I don't work with two caucuses. I'm the executive, which is certainly very different than being a legislator. But I don't work with two caucuses. I have 8 council members, so I work with 8 caucuses. Um, so it's very different. But as mayor, you can drive an agenda. And I assume in the majority you can do that as well. I've never been in the majority in a legislative session in the state house. I was at the county, but you can drive an agenda, and it's cool to be able to say, here's my budget. You may change it, but here's my budget, and here's what we can work on. Here's what we're spending our tax dollars on to grow our city, and then people get to judge whether it was done well or not at the ballot box. So it is very different. Both of which I love. Being mayor is a lot more. When you're one of 110 members, people know you, but not as well. When you are the mayor, I'm going to lunch after this, and I'm going to sit at the Soup Spoon Cafe, and everyone's going to come up to me and say, hey, mayor," and most people are very nice and say, "Hey, mayor, we love what you're doing," or "Thanks for what you're doing," and some people will come up to you and say, "Mayor, man, our roads are awful, and it's your fault." So I get them both. I get them both, but it's again, I can sit back and watch, or I can be part of the game, and I choose to be part of the game, and the citizens of Lansing want me to, and it's an honor. It is truly an honorable profession.